Welcome to my channel. Today's episode of Mastering the Art of Learning, a podcast where we break down the process of developing new skills to unlock your full potential. Whether you're learning a new language, mastering an instrument, or diving into a new profession, learning skills is a critical part of self-development and personal growth. In this episode, we'll cover how you can approach learning any skill effectively, how to stay motivated throughout the process, and why it's never too late to start mastering something new. We'll also talk about some of the best techniques for practicing and retaining what you've learned, so you can apply your new skills confidently. Let's dive right in. Segment 1: Why learning new skills is important. Learning new skills is one of the most rewarding things you can do for yourself. Whether it's for professional growth, personal satisfaction, or simply broadening your horizons, skill development offers a variety of benefits that can enhance every area of your life. In today's fast-paced world, the ability to learn and adapt has become more important than ever. Gone are the days when one skill set could carry you through your entire career. Now, industries evolve rapidly, and being able to continuously learn and update your knowledge is key to staying competitive. For example, think about the rise of technology and how it's reshaping fields like marketing, education, and even healthcare. Professionals need to constantly learn and adapt to keep up. But beyond career advancement, learning new skills also plays a crucial role in personal development. It helps build self-confidence, improves cognitive function, and can even lead to a sense of fulfillment. When you challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone and acquire new skills, you expand your understanding of the world and what you're capable of. There's also the added benefit of personal resilience. When you develop the mindset of a lifelong learner, you're more equipped to handle changes and setbacks. You know that you have the capacity to acquire the skills you need, no matter what life throws at you. Segment 2: Overcoming the fear of failure. Before we dive into how to learn skills effectively, let's address something that often holds people back: the fear of failure. Many of us are afraid to start something new because we worry we won't be good at it, or that we'll make too many mistakes along the way. The truth is, failure is an inevitable part of the learning process. When you're learning something new, you're bound to make mistakes. That's how your brain learns and grows. Think about a child learning to walk. They stumble and fall many times before they master walking, but they don't give up. In the same way, we as adults need to embrace the learning curve and not be afraid of stumbling. One way to overcome the fear of failure is by reframing how we see it. Instead of viewing failure as something negative, see it as valuable feedback. Every mistake gives you insight into what doesn't work, and that moves you closer to finding out what does. When you accept that failure is part of the process, you'll be more open to experimenting, trying new approaches, and ultimately mastering the skill. Segment 3: Setting SMART goals for learning. Now that we've tackled the fear of failure, let's talk about how to approach learning in a way that sets you up for success. One of the most effective strategies for learning any new skill is to set SMART goals. SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Specific: be clear about what exactly you want to learn. Instead of saying, "I want to learn how to play guitar," make it more specific, like, "I want to learn how to play 5 basic chords on the guitar." Measurable: track your progress by setting measurable milestones. For example, you might decide to learn one chord each week and then practice combining them to play a simple song. Achievable: make sure your goal is realistic. If you're just starting out, don't expect to master the entire instrument in a month. Start small and build from there. Relevant: ensure your goals align with your bigger objectives. Ask yourself, Why do I want to learn this skill? How does it fit into my life and what I want to achieve? Time-bound, give yourself a deadline. This helps create a sense of urgency and keeps you motivated. You could say, by the end of 3 months, I will be able to play a full song on the guitar. SMART goals are helpful because they give you a clear roadmap. When you break your learning process into smaller, manageable chunks, you're less likely to feel overwhelmed. Each small victory builds your confidence and propels you toward your ultimate goal. Segment 4: Embracing the power of deliberate practice. Once you've set your goals, it's time to focus on how to practice. Not all practice is created equal. If you want to learn a skill effectively, you need to engage in deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is the idea that improvement comes from consistently practicing at the edge of your abilities, rather than mindlessly repeating tasks. It's about challenging yourself with tasks that are just outside of your comfort zone. For example, let's say you're learning to write code. If you only practice the same basic commands over and over, you'll get good at those commands, but you won't make much progress beyond that. Deliberate practice involves pushing yourself to solve increasingly complex coding problems, forcing your brain to adapt and learn new concepts. Here are a few tips for incorporating deliberate practice into your routine. 1. Break down the skill into smaller components. Focus on specific aspects of the skill that need improvement. If you're learning a language, concentrate on grammar one day, vocabulary another day, and listening comprehension the next. 2. Get immediate feedback. Feedback helps you understand what you're doing right and where you need to improve. This could come from a mentor, teacher, or even self-assessment. 3. Reflect and adjust. After each practice session, take time to reflect on what worked and what didn't. Adjust your approach for the next session to address any weaknesses. Deliberate practice is hard work, but it's the key to mastering any skill. You'll make faster progress and gain a deeper understanding of what you're learning. Segment 5: The role of consistency and routine. One of the most important factors in learning any skill is consistency. The idea of practice makes perfect holds true, but only if you're practicing regularly. Creating a routine around your learning process helps turn it into a habit. If you only practice sporadically, it's harder for your brain to retain the new information. However, by practicing every day, even for just 15 to 30 minutes, you reinforce the neural pathways that solidify the new skill. To stay consistent, try scheduling regular practice sessions into your day. Make it part of your routine, like brushing your teeth or exercising. The more consistent you are, the more likely you'll be to see steady improvement over time. Additionally, it's important to recognize that skill development isn't always linear. Some days you'll feel like you're making huge strides, while other days may feel like you're stuck. This is normal. Learning any new skill has ups and downs, but sticking to your routine will help you push through plateaus and continue progressing. Segment 6: Using spaced repetition and memory techniques. When it comes to retaining information, there are a couple of highly effective techniques you can use: spaced repetition and mnemonic devices. Spaced repetition is a learning technique that involves reviewing information at increasing intervals over time. Instead of cramming all your practice into one session, you spread it out. For example, if you're learning vocabulary words, you would review them a day after learning, then a few days later, then a week later, and so on. This technique helps move information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Mnemonic devices are memory aids that help you remember information through association. For instance, if you're trying to remember the order of the planets, you could use a sentence like, "My very educated mother just served us noodles," to recall the first letters of each planet. These techniques help reinforce what you've learned and ensure it sticks over the long term. Many language learners and students swear by these methods for retaining complex information. Segment 7: Staying motivated on the journey. Learning new skills takes time and effort, and it's easy to get discouraged if you don't see immediate results. This is where motivation comes into play. Staying motivated over the long term can be challenging, but it's essential for making steady progress. One way to stay motivated is by celebrating small wins. Each time you hit a milestone, take a moment to recognize your progress. This could be as simple as mastering a new phrase in a language or completing your first project in a new software program. Another tip is to keep your why front and center. Remind yourself of the reason you started learning the skill in the first place. Whether it's for personal satisfaction, career advancement, or a specific goal, keeping your end goal in mind can help push you through tough days. Finally, connect with others who are learning the same skill. Joining a community, whether online or in person, can provide you with the support and encouragement you need to keep going. You can exchange tips, share experiences, and even find accountability partners who keep you on track. Conclusion: learning new skills is one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself, both personally and professionally. While the process takes time, effort, and patience, the rewards are immense. By setting clear goals, engaging in deliberate practice, and staying consistent, you'll be well on your way to mastering whatever skill you set out to learn. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Mastering the Art of Learning. I hope these strategies will help you on your journey to developing new skills. Remember, the key is to stay committed, embrace the process, and never stop learning. Until next time, keep pushing your limits and continue exploring the incredible world of skill development. Goodbye for now.